Sola Ojewusi joins us now. He's a public affairs analyst to give his thoughts on this matter. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Good morning.
Well,
Thanks.
having listened to that, now, yes, two committees now. The one set up by the president, and then we also have this one. But from the comments you've heard so far, what do you think of this?
Well, I think we have to, it's time we started looking at this thing beyond just what so many people are talking about. You know, there is, I think, even from the statement of Mr. Eguridu, that's the WAEC, you can discover that there seems to have been a kind of disconnect, dysfunction right from the scratch. We sympathize really with the parents of these children because this is something beyond their control. You know, it's your right to have your children in school. It's the rights of the children, you know, to go to school and be safe in the school. But I think right from the beginning, there is a lot of disconnect between all the forces that should have given this kind of security to the people involved. The revelation just coming up now because right from the beginning, everybody was, talking about the president's, the approach of the presidency to this thing. But I discovered that there is also a kind of, slow approach from the state, from all the people that should have acted right from the beginning. If it is true that the WAEC, head of WAEC in Nigeria, or the WAEC in Nigeria approached the state and warned them or told them to relocate the children and nothing was done about it, I think that is a kind of thing that should be looked into, and we try to look at how to forestall that in the future. But it is beyond that. I think the way we are even handling this Chibok issue is getting beyond the mere aspect of kidnapping to the issue of 2015. I'll give you the reason for this. Now, everybody is, they are politicizing the whole thing, rather than everybody coming together to say, let us fight this thing together. Let us look at there have been issues like this around the world. The kidnapping is one of the stock in trade of terrorists. It's not something that is new to Nigeria. It has happened right from the scratch. Just recently, the head of Sinn Féin in Northern Ireland, Jerry Adams, is being called to question about an event that happened in 1972. There are things that have been happening, but it's a matter of the handling. One, I think the federal government should have a better way of liaising with the states, and the states too also cooperating with the federal government, because the president is in Abuja. The people who are right there, they may have more information than the presidency, because you can't expect the president to be everywhere. Yes, the buck stops on his table. The responsibility is the president's. He is the president of Nigeria, he is the commander-in-chief. But you have to help the commander-in-chief to be able to achieve what you ask him to do. If we have a situation where the government of Borno has been warned ahead that this kind of situation should be prevented and nothing is done, for me, I don't know whether you've had any kind of response from the Borno State government refuting what has been said by the white man. I've not really had, I have to confess.
We have tried to get across to them, but so at the moment, so far, they have declined that invitation. So we do hope that any official of the Borno State government at that will come forward and speak up. But before that time, we had Issa Gusau, who was SA Media to the governor. He told us, because we did ask him as well, all the schools are supposed to be closed. The federal schools were closed, but Chibok is a state school. And so we did ask him, why was the school in session? And he told us at the time that the government wanted to relocate them, but the community said, no, don't worry, we have this. And so we're still trying to get back to him and find out, in the light of WAEC's comments, what really happened?
Well, if what WAEC said was actually the fact of the matter, then there has to be a lot of rethinking in the Borno government house about the approach to this issue. I don't want to think for the governor, but we should look beyond politics. We should look beyond, I'm different, or the person at the top is different from the kind of party I belong to. Let us see how we can create a synergy. I'm going to look beyond even the Borno State government. I'm also going to talk about the impact that the northern leaders themselves have played in this. Let me give an example. During the menace, let me use that word, beg your pardon, of the militants in the Niger Delta, yeah, it became a national issue, just like the issue of Chibok, even though we're far away from Chibok, but it's a Nigerian issue because what they are doing affects the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It affects you, it affects me. It's a national thing. Now, what is happening there? It's a national thing. We should not see it as a regional thing. But, you know, there are people who know the terrain better than all of us. There are people who are part of the system. I live in the north. I served, I worked, I lectured. I was in the north for quite a long time. I know the kind of communality that used to be in the north. But nowadays, I'm wondering if the people in the Niger Delta, even the current president, I remember when the militant problem started, he was one of the people that went to the creeks to meet with the militants. Beyond the issue of maybe militants carrying guns and all those things, there are other areas of negotiation that can be applied when the leaders of the immediate community are involved, when they come together, when they leave politics out of it and decide to look at things beyond the parochial interests that are involved. Now, the people of the Niger Delta did that. Even in the southwest, when, you know, there was a time people began to look at the OPC people as being beyond mere agitators. Some people consider them as terrorists because of the involvement of some elements who were becoming, a bit more than meet the eye. Leaders in the southwest went to meet these people that, yes, we know you are agitating. We know you are trying to do something to be able to be a voice for the people of the southwest. But there are certain actions you are taking that are going beyond the interest, that's going to affect even the interest of not only the southwest, but the Nigeria. And eventually, you can imagine now, one of the leaders of OPC is now being invited to the national conference, Gani Adams. It shows that the nation has accepted OPC as a voice that, is contributing to the development of Nigeria. Now, let's come to the issue of this Boko Haram. Boko Haram did not come from the winds. It started from somewhere. You can trace their history. You can trace their background. You can look at the beginning of this and see how you can reach out. The emirs, the political leaders, all the leaders, even right from the vice president of Nigeria is a northerner, is like the eye of the president in the north. El-Rufai, the Sultan, we have to give it to the Sultan. He has tried a lot in trying to create a kind of atmosphere for people to believe that he really cares about Nigeria. But the leaders of the north forget politics, forget partisanship. They have to come together and see how to really reach out to these people and get them to understand that what they are doing, Chibok has become an international issue now. Nigeria is doing, there is a kind of bad light over the country. People have to see it beyond the present moment. In future, we don't want to be going out and be seen as a country that cannot even manage the security, the interest of the younger one, the future of the nation. You know, so we have to look at it beyond, that, okay, I'm against Jonathan, I'm against this, we are having a particular party. Everybody must work. And the kind of statement that's coming out from the mouth of people, look, Chibok, I believe will be solved. But, the stock in trade of terrorists, now they've seen something. They've seen that, okay, this thing we did has created a kind of confusion among the leaders. That's what they wanted to achieve.
But again,
yes,
if you allow me comment here, yes, I think you've looked at it really deeply. But again, just the way they say, two wrongs can't make a right. But do you think we are giving it the right approach if the Christian Association of Nigeria from that region, and even yesterday during the president's media chat, would want to make people believe that a chunk amount of these children were Christians? We're further dividing the country. Now, you just talked about statements. No one seemed to really know the import of having to tell people or bring such statements before the nation?
Well, I think, like I mentioned earlier, when you say partisanship, it's not only political partisanship. You have to look at the Christian religion, Christian-Muslim divide, even whatever other religion you have. The way we approach this thing, yes, well, maybe from the list that came out today, you can say a majority of those people are Christians.
Why should